On the 10th of April 2022, I started my own console challenge, a journey to beating every PlayStation 2 game. I've been collecting these games for many years, and one day I said to myself, why am I not playing these? They're gathering around, gathering dust. Games are meant to be played, so that's what I'm gonna do. We've already encountered some epic moments. There's been laughs along the way.
Oh no. Ah! It's actually pretty good.
And of course, a few tears. But one thing's for sure, we're gonna beat every PS2 game. Let's kick off with game number 7, Pro Evolution Soccer. In the land of Europe, there is a sport that is hugely supported, played, watched, and viewed, and that is football. And here in the UK, it's no exception. People go absolutely crazy in the pubs when England or even their favourite team score a goal. And because of that, the PS2 had a huge amount of games on its library. But during the PS2's life, two kings stood tall to be the most popular football games: FIFA and Pro Evolution Soccer. Hell, I remember times when I was playing Magic the Gathering at school. Over the other side of the playground, kids would be arguing over which one was better. License teams this, gameplay that. Kids and grown-ups had a dispute all the time, and these two giants remained on the system, showing off and fighting against one another for a long time. They were even the final two games on the system, FIFA 14 being the penultimate one, but Pro Evo 2014 just getting that swagger victory, being the final official PS2 release. I may be a guy born and raised in good old London, but I'm not a football fan. Hell, I'm not a sports fan. Still, there's groups of you that love this series and love sports, and that's what you played on your console. And we're going to play them all too, starting with our first official game, Pro Evolution Soccer. Upon booting up the game, there were several different cups we could play, you know, from the very small ones to like the normal meteor-sized ones. So I looked at everything, and it seemed a Euro Cup was going to be a decent pace or a decent victory for us. So yeah, that's what we were going to do. And also, just to address the elephant in the room, you may notice in the bottom left corner, difficulty is on 1 star, and the length is shortened to like 5 minutes. I will admit that during my early steps of the console challenge, I did half-ass the football difficulty. Because it's my first game, I kind of went in, oh, I'm not good at football, I'm going to lower this all. But as we get into it, I feel like I wasn't treating sports games as much as I was treating other games. So yeah, sorry about this to the fans out there of this game. I do go in pretty wimpy on this first game. So we had to pick our team to get our beloved cup victory, and as I used to play this game rarely after school around a certain friend's house, I used to go with Spain because I thought statistically they were generally pretty good, and I nearly went for them, but then people in chat were going, oh, come on, let's see the stats of what the teams were like back during the very first Pro Evo. So that's what we did. Generally looked for every team to see just how it is. England weren't statistically that fantastic, but there you go. But I tell you something, there was a team that I was taken aback. They must have done pretty damn well back in like the 2000s, 2001s. And yeah, that team was actually this. Yep, the Netherlands. Look at their stats. I was like, I've got to pick these guys. They are damn fine. So to the football people out there that know their thing, hey, maybe you knew, yeah, Netherlands, they were the best. Go with Netherlands, my son. So we draft the Euro Cup, and there are our standings. We're ready to go. I'm ready to try and win my first ever football game I've played. Not even on the PS2, but in my entire life. Yes, this was my Virgin Crusade to win a cup. And my first ever match was going to be against good old Ireland. And it's a nice little thing. Actually, for a game even this old, it's a cute little opening. The two teams bringing out their flags, the sounds of the crowd cheering, the pretty nice detailed players walking on and everything. You gotta remember, this is like one of the first games that came out on the console, and there's a nice sense of atmosphere, a sense of, just sportsmanship, ready to win, hopefully, my first ever match. Let's just see how I do, huh? So we start the match, we kick off, and we get possession of the ball. Football, if you've never heard, seen, or even wanted to check out the sport, I'll give you a little breakdown. Obviously, I'm not the biggest expert, but I vaguely know what football is and what it does. There are two teams that always play, and with that, your goal is to score a goal, or be the person who has scores the most goals. You have 90 minutes, 45 minutes each side, and sometimes when there's stoppages and when there's fouls and penalties, that 45 minutes and 90 minutes will go into extra time, or in this case, injury time, as you can see in the top right here. Once that's over, the extra time, injury time can be given during the 45-minute point, the 90-minute point, and if it needs to be added to a decidable game, during the extra time, there is another 30 minutes added onto the 90 already, which is split between two 15-minute parts. But all these times and sections of the game can all have injury time. In this situation, the match wasn't a knockout stage, so it will be considered a draw. And if you're wondering what happens when extra time runs out, who determines the victor, there is a mode which sadly doesn't happen during my playthrough here called penalty shootouts. I wish I could show you how it works out, but basically you shoot at the goal. Whoever has the most goals after a set amount of goals wins that. I won't give you a masterclass of football though. I'm sure the people that watch and understand football know the deeper aspects, and the people that are interested more in just the PS2 challenge and the games we play during it. I just explained how the time works and how scoring works. It's very simplistic as long as you don't look into more rules like goal kicks, offside rules, corner kicks, fouling, red cards, yellow cards. There's a lot more deeper aspects that I could go into, but I'll probably balls up the explanation, so I'll just leave it at that. Anyway, our first game against Ireland, the first game of the season, ends in a draw. So that was it. It wasn't a deciding round, so it was just going to flat out decide and end in a draw. However, as the draw happened, my game started to hang. I don't know what the problem was, but during this playthrough, this game had some huge discrete errors. Before the prior of this challenge, I updated my laser and my, reading lens and the whole disk drive for my Slim PS2. It could be that this was one of the older CD-based ROM games and it doesn't run well on a Slim-based PS2. That's actually a thing. You'll actually realize that in the game. But sadly, this first match hangs and does not go back to the game. So I had to reset the console. And because of that, the first game wasn't even finalized. It ended here. So we'd had to redo the game again. So it's take two, and we set up the same situation again. Euro Cup, I pick my beloved Netherlands team, and we just randomly generate another scenario. This time around, when the first match begins, we are against, which was a little bit of a concerning team for me. They are pretty good players, I believed at the time, Portugal. So this was it. Instead of Ireland, we would now start our first ever match of the Cup season with Portugal. Let's just see how we do this time. And it didn't really take long for Portugal to flex their ballsy skills, as before the 10-minute timers even turned over, They sneak in the first goal. We're already down 1 goal. Oh, damn. Oh, damn, this isn't going well for my first match. Especially when we're playing on, like, you know, a pretty easy difficulty. We've got to really work our socks off now. Rest of the first half was uneventful, but then it came to the second half. I really had to try and do my best. I needed to equalize this damn game, so I desperately get my team and push them up, and it seems that all is going my way, and as I go and push and push, it happens. I get my first ever goal in football history in the PS2 challenge. It felt good, but weirdly the player stopped moving. Still, we were celebrating in the game. I was celebrating. I was hyped. I was excited. The game was equalized. There was a chance to get this game back into my favor. So as the match was getting really sweaty, really tense, we kept pushing, trying to get that second goal to seize victory. And then we accidentally kicked it off, but hey, it was a corner kick. It's fine. But suddenly, it happened again. The game froze for a second time during a loading screen. Yeah, I mean, in one way I was glad when we were doing an easy difficulty and lowering the time, because this disc was having some huge issues. Once again, this first match was frozen and we had to reset progress again. So take 3, we start again, reset another EuroLeague, and hope that with all the tech issues aside, the performance issues that my console or the disc was having, one of the two, this is it, the third start. Third time's the charm, and our first match, Netherlands versus Turkey. Could we actually get through this and beat this game? Well, let's hope, hey. So with our first match of our first game, I do it straight away. We get a beautiful goal. Netherlands beautifully seals that much needed start to my career in this cup once again. And yeah, I do a beautiful little dance round maneuver here. I quite liked it actually. And then with a little cheeky punt, it went in. Yep. Hopefully this game was going to be our game, and hopefully we were going to get through this first match. And the full time whistle blows, and it does. That is it. I do win. That 1 goal sealed my victory. But then suddenly, I got a bit worried. The game was hanging again. But this time, I wanted to wait. And I did. I just kept waiting and waiting. And then eventually it went to a black screen. And I just kept waiting. I refused. I was not going to let this game goddamn beat me. Does my stubbornness pay off this time? Well, thank God it does. After 2 minutes nearly, the game loaded the final victory screen. Thank God we could progress. So half an hour in, we are finally onto a second match of the tournament. And we've saved, so if anything goes wrong, we have a match to finally keep going back to and playing. And it's against Belgium. A pretty damn good team, I thought, and they are pretty good in this game. And it's a very toe-to-toe, head-to-head, neck-and-neck battle here. The match goes on for the full time, and neither of us score a goal. It ends in a draw. And as I explained earlier in the video, a draw during these parts of the cup doesn't mean that we have to do extra time or any penalty kickoffs. It ends as a draw, and points go that way onto the system. We've had a victory under our belt. We've had a draw. For the most part, we are still doing pretty alright during this cup tournament. It's time to take on our third opponent. The game seems to be going okay, my disc seems to be loading, and my console seems to be working along with it. We're on to our third match to get onto the knockout stages, and it's against Croatia. And it goes well. We skillfully pass the ball about, and we get that sweet goal. It's another exciting moment. I love it. It is a goal, and it is a beautiful, sweet victory. And the match keeps going, and wraps up. 1-0 to us is a beautiful, sweet moment to decide that we get 2 wins under our belt and a draw. Definitely enough to move on to the next stages of the cup match. Oh yes, I'm footballing now. So now going forward, it's do or die knockout rounds, and our first opponent for that situation is Norway. And off we get cracking. And Norway, once again, awesomely nearly get a goal, and I quickly try and save it, and... Oh. Oh, Coos. Oh, what did you just do?
Cut referee. Did you see that ludicrous display last night?
Yeah, I panic and I perform the cardinal sin.
I panicked.
I scored an own goal. I'm 1-0 down. Go me. So now it was time to initiate redemption arc, so we carefully plan our team, organise our players a bit better, and this time shoot in the right direction and in the right goal to equalise the match. 1-1 now. Technically I've scored 2 goals, I will say that, but hey, the most important thing is it's a drawn match, it's time to crack on. So the second half goes on, and oh crap. Oops, accidentally kicked the ball off the field. That's not a big deal, we're doing fine. And then suddenly, Norway with the confidence of a lion. Oh, crap. Oh boy, the tides had changed. We were now another goal down. We really were fighting for this one this time. So now I was in desperation mode. I had to pull the punches now. I had to try and even this match out again. And luckily, with my superior football skills, it's back, baby. It's 2-2. That's right. We were still doing well. This was quite the intense match. It's all even again, and all the cards are on the table. It's looking like this match might go to extra time. Time was running out. We were near that 90-minute mark. So I try and pull the punches. I try for one last goal. And it happens, and I go wild. This has to be it. This has to be the dealing finishing blow to finally flex and win this match. And as Norway tried to struggle during injury time, that whistle blows. Game over, Norway. We made it. We've made it to the semi-finals of the Euro Cup. And our opponent for the semi-finals was going to be Romania. That was this will be our penultimate match, and hopefully we do pretty well with it. So tensions are high, knockout stages, we're 1 away from the finals. Let's give Romania everything we got. And not too far into the match, I accidentally blow it and let them have a corner kick. And I have to say, they do a blinding header and get such a good goal. I was impressed. Romania start their match off with a beautiful start, and we are now a goal down. So it was our time to turn things around, and before the second half, you know, I get sweaty moments and I just keep on pushing with my team. And I think I see an opening and I just go for it. And with a cheeky side kick, it goes in. The equalizer has happened. And I'm not feeling so panicked and worried now. We have a chance. But then the match is quite a tense one, as the second half is very uneventful, so we have to go into extra time, like I explained before. So within the next 30 minutes, one of us has to win a winning goal to obviously try and seal that victory and move on into the sweet, sweet finals we're all chasing after. Time to get our A game on and try and win that sweet victory. So I get a little bit panicky. They're in our side, so I get the ball out of there and just keep passing it down the field. Just keep on pushing and pushing and pushing. And I think I see an opportunity, so I go for it. But it goes off the keeper. But then quickly, with the rebound, I get it in. There's the goal. We're 1 up. We're very close to victory and getting to that final, hey? But then the cursed demon decides to come back as we're so close to the end. It was being good, but the disc read error comes back. And I start to panic, and I start to get a bit sweaty because, you know, we'd have to do the match again, and we're quite deep into it this time. So for about a minute, a brief moment of anxiety sweeps over me. But then suddenly, the disc kicks in. Oh, thank you, you beautiful game. But also, what caught me by surprise was we didn't have to carry on playing the extra time. I don't know if this is a rule in sport or it changes. I thought you had to play for the full 30 minutes. But it seems first goal victory is in Pro Evo, or maybe older rules or rules I'm missing. But anyway, we win, but I was just a little bit confused. Either way, I'll take it. So who were our final rivals to win the cup? Almighty Russia. Oh boy. Well, hey, here we go. Russia versus the Netherlands. We need to win this victory, and we will win this victory, damn it, one way or another. We're gonna get this cup. And at this point, I had to say I was pretty impressed with myself because we never had the save scum. So we've done a pretty damn good clean run. Yeah, it's on easy difficulty, but for my first game, I was feeling the hype, and I was ready to finally beat this game's ass. So the match begins, and this is it. We are playing for everything here. And with it, we push past, and it seems to be evenly matched. We have possession, and we try and go for the goal. Russia do the same, and it's a very back and forth, to the point where the first half is a little bit of an uneventful one. Neither of us can seek a goal or victory, so the whistle blows, and we call time. It's now or never. Let's move on to the second half and try and do a bit better. So we're back in it, and we've got possession, and I just go for it. From the moment the whistle blows, I push forward, and look at that. Straight away, our first goal. We're up there, we're on the ladder, and we've just got to keep climbing now. Let's make sure Russia can't catch up. I think about it, should I play it safe? Should I just keep possession of the ball and not let Russia get it? But then I was like, nah, this is the final. Let's do some showmanship. And we do it again. Second goal. The hype's ready. The crowd's going wild. The Netherlands seem to be securing their victory for this game. Not long now. Not long now. And it's at that point that the whistle's about to blow, but I just want more goals. I'm so greedy for goals, and I do it again. The same thing. It repeats itself, and I get a third goal. And my God, do I feel good. Oh, it's feeling great now, isn't it? This is it. My victory is at hand. But oh God, it seems some evil spirit has cursed me just as we're about to get victory. We're 2 minutes away from full time. The disc read issue comes again, and this time, it's a mean one. But I was being super stubborn here. For a crazy few minutes, the game refuses to do anything. It doesn't load. So then I pray. Then I just pray and pray and pray. I just think, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And then I just think, with all else fails, I'm going to take the disc out and put it back in. So that's what I do. I just take the disc out, give it a wipe, put it back in, and thank God it started up. The sense of relief was real, and I just had to wait for injury time to time out. Thank goodness, and this was the last final disc read era of the run. The whistle blows. I get very happy and elated for many reasons. One, it's my first football victory. Two, the disc read issues are done. But three, this was it. We were about to beat the game. A beautiful way to finish too. 3-0 to Russia. They didn't have a chance of my mad skills. It was a very good end. Of course, you can't finish a cup final without the sweet, sweet ceremony. And with the Euro Cup above our heads, we won. We achieved everything. Beautiful, beautiful victory. Well done, Netherlands. But not only that, this game actually has credits when you win. Some of these sports games don't, and this one does. We fully had done it. 1 hour, 23 minutes for game number 7 beat. This game was pretty alright. Apart from the disc read issues, you know, and I'm kind of glad I did reduce time for this reason. Like, especially, it'd suck to play a more simulated time. I think the default is 10 minutes each time. So losing 20 minutes of progress on matches would have been a bit more disheartening. Still, 1 minute 23. I'd say this game was about an hour long, ignoring the errors and have to restart the game. For a first sports game, it was fun. I enjoyed the football aspect. I can see why people enjoy it. If you're into football, you'd absolutely be adored with this. It works. The passing's simple. I eventually learned how to kick properly and, cut into goals. It's good. I mean, and you can't really go. This was an early release game, and it looks nice. It plays nice. The mechanics, the physics, it all works just fine. So I can see why this was a very popular series by many of you guys that loved your football. With this beat as well, we kind of have a little bit more of an average time to maybe start working things out for you guys as well. 7 games beat and 50 hours of total playtime on the PS2. About what? 8 hours per game? Average, I think. I'm just doing off the top of my head. I think that's about right. But this was fun. Good job, Konami. I can see why you pushed these games out and sold millions. I can imagine some of you guys might even come back to this. I see videos all the time. I don't know how true it is. Some Pro Evo fans go, playing Pro Evolution Soccer 1 because I think it's now called eFootball that Konami do now to try and keep up with the FIFA releases. I don't know how good the recent ones are, but hey, GG's. Oh my goodness, we weren't talking about a game for over an hour this time. Shock, isn't it? Well, I got what I needed explained done, and sometimes shorter games just don't really need to be explained, do they? But thank you all for hanging around. Let's wrap up the video as always, and first of all, it's time for Streamer Spotlight. Who's it going to be today? I'm giving the shout out to my lovely Europal, Riku, the awesome dude from Finland who's just already been an awesome bit of company during my PlayStation 2 challenge, and yeah, he's doing his own challenge. He's doing the PlayStation 1 experience himself, trying to beat all them PlayStation 1 games, and he's done some doozies already. He's over 100 games beat, and he's just great to watch and be around. He is Finnish speaking primarily on his stream, so yeah, take that into account. If there are questions or you want to ask something in English, he'll respond usually. I mean, chat is very busy for him, but yeah, lovely guy, awesome dude. I've always got to give him a shout out. And you like sports, so thanks, Reku. And the other most important thing is just to say thank you to you guys, as always, for watching these video review recaps for the PS2 challenge. I just love doing all of this. It's just great to have content and, get the feedback and the lovely comments you guys leave during this as well. As always, don't forget to scroll into the About Me section or the description to check out my Discord or my Twitch if you want to check out live streams. And there's just all that general jazz, yeah. So as always, thanks as always for being around, checking out these videos, guys. And what is the next game going to be, I guess you're wondering? Well, I believe this IP has the most games on the PS2 system, at least in North America and PAL territories. It is a huge Nickelodeon IP. Yes, there he is, the big yellow sponge himself. SpongeBob SquarePants, Revenge of the Flying Dutchman. I hope you're ready to check out some good old classic platforming. And that's a wrap. So guys, thank you for watching another video in the PlayStation 2 Collection Challenge. See you next time.